The Bad Batch, Episode 4, Cornered. On their way to a proposed hiding place on the planet Ida Floor, the Bad Batch are suddenly forced to stop on Pantora to gather supplies, fix the ship, and for Echo to modify the ship's signature to escape the Empire's wanted list. However, the landing bay attendant identifies them and informs Fennec Shand, a mercenary hired to retrieve Omega. Fennec comes upon Omega and tries to abduct her, which she manages to do by outsmarting both Hunter and Wrecker in the process. But things don't go that easy for her, as Hunter then attempts to challenge Fennec yet again, this time triggering a furious chase throughout the city. And with the help of Omega, they're able to finally shake Fennec off, complete all their ship modifications, and depart Pantora. Once off the planet, the Bad Batch then come to the realization that there's someone else other than the Empire that they now need to worry about. After last week's slower episode, it was nice to get something with a bit more excitement, as the pace in this one was done real well. So much so that it felt to me to go by real fast, which I know this is only, 23 minutes or so long, but still, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Quite the opposite actually, it was enjoyable, it didn't drag, it flowed real well, which is what I want to see more in future episodes. And getting to explore and see more of Pantora was also pretty cool, as the world building here was done right. The little Imperial parade at the beginning was a nice touch, although I wouldn't have minded to see more of the clones than just a short scene, but I'll take it. Oh, and the sound design on Pantora within the city was also top-notch, I loved it. Now, it should also be said that this was a great intro episode for Fennec Shand, who we all knew would be in the show thanks to the trailers, but not sure in what capacity. And here she was, calm, gentle, and playful with Omega, but a total badass when going up against either Hunter or Wrecker, whom she was able to beat both with not too much effort on her part. Yeah, she was pretty brutal here, even headshotting a Pantoran policeman, which that was some rather graphic stuff, even if it was short. But even then, that in no way would have been aired if the Bad Batch was being shown on Cartoon Network, let's be real at that. And the chase scene itself was a lot of fun. I think that was probably the best part of the episode, and it kinda gave me some Attack of the Clone vibes, which this really worked well here. As for Fennec, it's no doubt we'll be seeing her again, and maybe as a recurring character too, where every now and then she's gonna come up with a new scheme to try and kidnap Omega. Which, now that I think about it, might get old, but then again, if it's done right, I probably won't mind. And as for who hired her, then this episode still decides to keep that a mystery, but odds are it's most likely the Kaminoans. Because really, who else would it be? The Empire have no idea who Omega is or what makes her so special, and that's the exact opposite for the Kaminoans, who know all about that. And now that they need to begin their next phase of their experiment, then it's clear Omega seems to be a crucial part of that. Some other things that I enjoyed about this episode was for sure Echo's little subplot here, where he gets mistaken for a droid and even sold off for some credits. 3,000 credits at that too, sheesh. Echo's and Hunter's price negotiations definitely made me laugh. I mean, that was hilarious. And while he may had not liked it, it was worth it in the end, because if you think about it, he did get to lead a mini droid revolution. And it was thanks to them that the ship was repaired on time too, so there's that. And while on that topic, this episode did have some visual connections to Resistance, like for example the little droid Clink being the exact same droid model as LE-12 from that show. Then we also got to see a Vorpak too, which is the same species as Buggles in Resistance. So yeah, I think this episode marked the first appearance that a LE repair droid and a Vorpak made outside of Resistance, which is pretty cool to see. Another thing that caught my eye was the little clone trooper doll, which looks to be awfully similar to that of the stormtrooper dolls that first debuted in Rogue One, and then again shown in The Mandalorian, I think, so it was nice to at least see a clone variation of that. Oh, and how could I forget, we also got this guy, I mean, come on. Now, having said that, I did have one slight annoyance with this episode, and that is that there's always some kind of issue with the ship. I get why they do it, but at the same time, I hope the whole ship needing repairs doesn't become a constant thing. We had that happen last week, which made sense, and now again this week, which, I kinda got tired with ship repairers being a plot device in both Rebels and Resistance, so I'm not thrilled to see that repeated here in the Bad Batch. But all in all, this episode was fun. Yeah, it wasn't groundbreaking stuff, nor did anything important happen here per se where it's a must-watch. It was just some old-fashioned Star Wars animated fun, and hey, that's never a bad thing. And that was my take on this episode of The Bad Batch. Let me know what you all thought about the episode in the comments below, and if you haven't already, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.